Because some of the ones I've been told.
He takes me up when I fall down, so.
Now they're raising it to 120 bucks a year.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like sometimes it doesn't always pick up things that we think it should be triggered on. Oh, actually I caught the cat right there. So, yeah, that's her neighborhood kitty cat. When the grass gets to flying around, it trigger it all night long and stuff. And I pulled the sunflowers out because the other night it was every 15 seconds it was.
Somebody uses a combination of those, and some other ones that get was actually hardwire those for like outside lights or.
Real-Link is another one that I use it when replacing my tube.
Oh, okay.
They're not bad either. There's a QR code, you scan the QR code and you have graphic.
It's a safety thing.
Safety.
Thank you.
Oh, my good plans.
Mike's just leaving it, everybody.
Yeah.
I had a comment outside. John, pretty good. How's it going?
Good morning. Good. You can have that one. I'm gonna be stingy and take this one.
Just got the red dots.
I didn't bring Starburst tonight, I apologize. Maybe next week.
I know where they're at though.
Yeah.
I know where they're at though.
Yeah.
Sitting on your desk.
No.
Oh, you got rid of them already?
Yeah, we ate them all.
Yeah.
But I did get the new Oreos, or Reese's Oreos today. Fantastic.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Reese's, because they're really good. It's Reese's with crushed Oreo. It's amazing. They got them up.
I really don't need another sugar in my life.
I don't either, but I still like them.
I sit
You know
there.
why? Because it makes me happy. Just like
There we go. But you know what happens when I drink Suburban or drink bourbon and try to do my schoolwork?
You don't get anything done.
I don't, well, I do, but it's not good.
Oh, wow. I got a new Montana bourbon. It's a huckleberry. It's actually
Mm.
I don't come out with chocolate.
Yeah.
I tried it. And I
Is it
don't
any
see
good?
anyone on that box.
I figure if we got a flavor to the chip and salad, it must not have been any good to begin with. And I used to drink Crown like it was free. I used to drink rock stuff like it was free. That's what we're gonna do Sunday when you're fixing the feet. I'll sit and smoke cigarettes.
Come on, football star.
We don't need to poke anybody's eye out.
Put some fire behind it.
Calling the meeting to order for September 22nd, 2025 at 7 PM for the town of Evansville. May I please get roll call?
Mayor Candace Michelle excused tonight. Mayor Pro Tem Dacia Edwards,
Here.
Councilmember Greg Lustig,
Here.
Councilmember Alana Vino,
Here.
Councilmember Ernie Blackford,
Here.
Town Attorney Scott Murray,
Here.
Town Engineer Shane Porter,
Here.
Chief Police Mike Thompson,
Here.
Fire Chief Leo Lawson,
Here.
Public Works Director Robert Gallow,
Here.
Town Clerk Janelle Underwood, and listed citizens.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we get approval of the agenda? For the consent agenda and approval, line 1, consent agenda.
I'm sorry, I just need approval of the agenda first.
May I please get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
I move. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those, or any discussion?
Any discussion? Motion passes.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? Line item A, the approval of the minutes for September 8th, 2025, and the executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Line item 2 is the public hearing of the community development block, community development block grant applications for the sanitary sewer improvements for Western Avenue roadway improvements.
So, good evening, Madam Mayor, Pro Temp, and Council. So, for this public hearing, the town of Evansville plans to submit 2 separate community development block grant applications. One will be for a miscellaneous sanitary sewer improvements project, which will consist of replacing the lift station pumps at the main lift station, replacing the backup generator at the main lift station, 4 manhole replacements, mostly around 3rd Copper, 3rd Buena, and 3rd Rio Vista. And then also a sewer main replacement, the sewer main over here by Evans, that gave us trouble last winter when it backed up and created all that issues. We've got that sewer main replacement as part of this project as well. And then the other block grant application is for the reconstruction of Western Avenue from where YDOT left off, just south of Iron, or south of Oildale to Iron. So town plans to submit these block grant applications at the end of the month as required by the application process, required to have a public hearing to take any public comment regarding either of these projects.
And so I would just ask that you open the public hearing for any comments on either one of these projects that are proposed.
So we'd now like to open up for public comments for both of these, the block grant applications. Opening up at 7:04, do we have any?
Hello, Bill Turkey, I live at 644 Eagle Trail. I guess my only comment on there was there was a note in there on the, I'm talking about the street on Iron, that if the bids came in higher, that they just scale back the project. I think hopefully you'll reconsider that and just fix it, you know. I mean, if it's like $500,000, I mean, that's different, but that maybe, like, we'll consider, maybe change the wording a little bit to just say, we'll consider it or something, I don't know. But the way it reads, it's like, if it comes back in at more money than what the grant is, that the project will be just scaled back. And I just think that just fix it partially, kind of silly.
I can address that a little bit. It does say, so the last item says, second to last item in the resolution that you'll talk about next, is that project cost overruns will be paid for with town funds. However, overruns are not expected as this project would be scaled back if necessary to maintain the original project budget. That's kind of standard language in the resolution. The town always has the option to pitch in. And if it's within a reasonable amount, the town always has the
that
option
makes
to
sense.
say,
That
yeah,
makes
we can
sense.
still fund the project.
That was the only thing I said.
Walt Behrens, and I'm at 1079 Steel Vista. I agree. I don't think we should scale that back. There's a lot of heavy trucks going in and out of there, out of that sand place, pulling doubles. And it's just tearing that road up more. If you don't build it big enough to handle that weight, you're just gonna fix it again in a couple of years. Same way with all the way down to Curtis Street. Then trucks are going both ways and those potholes are getting bigger because that street's not designed to take that weight. There's no way that that street was designed to handle that weight, because those places weren't even there when those streets were designed and put in.
Any other comments? We will now close a public hearing on the Community Development Block Grant. Line item 3, resolution for the CDGB application.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, Deja Edwards and Council, Resolution 9-2025 is a resolution authorizing the submittal of Community Development Block Grant application to the Wyoming Community Development Authority for the purpose of miscellaneous sanitary sewer improvements. And the application will be in the amount of $849,222, and is brought before you tonight for approval.
Can I get a motion to approve the resolution for the CDBG application?
I move.
I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 4, the resolution for the CDBG application for Western Avenue roadway improvements.
Mayor Pro Tem Edwards and council members, Resolution 10-2025 is a resolution authorizing the submittal of a Community Development Block Grant application to the Wyoming Community Development Authority for the purpose of Western Avenue roadway improvements. And the application amount for this project is $380,236. It's brought before you tonight for approval.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 10-2025, resolution for the CDBG application for Western Avenue roadway improvements?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Can I ask one more question about that? I just have some question for the engineer. Who's redoing the railroad crossing? Is the railroad paying for that, or are we?
The town will pay for that.
So why can't we get Curtis fixed too?
I don't know the status of what discussions are going on with BNSF on that.
Line item number 5, public hearing for the Evansville Emergency Connection Project. We will now open up that public hearing at 7:09 for the Evansville Emergency Connection Project.
I'll give a staff report again. This one is an SRF loan application. It specifically requires certain things to be addressed in this public hearing, so I'm going to go over this one in a little more detail. So this project would provide a connection between the town of Evansville water system and the city of Casper water supply. The need for this project was identified in the 2009 Evansville Water Master Plan funded by the Wyoming Water Development Commission. In the event of the town of Evansville's water treatment plant is unavailable for whatever reason, I mean, it could be that the filters are down, power's out, river's contaminated, the ponds are contaminated, I mean, any various reason that the treatment plant could be down, this connection would then provide a source of water supply to the town of Evansville from Casper. So the project addresses the health and safety issues of being able to supply the entire community with water in the event that the treatment plant is down for longer than a day. We basically have 1 day supply in the tank. So it would take care of any unforeseen condition where we needed to get water and we knew we couldn't get it within a day. The entire project consists of basically a pipeline connection between Casper Water up by Home Depot to our water tank. The line itself has already been installed. This project involves a chlorination building that we need to put up there. That chlorination building is necessary because of the way Casper disinfects their water. They use something called chloramines. Evansville uses chlorine, and they don't mix directly. We have to over-chlorinate their water before we put it into our tank. So it takes a chlorination building to make that connection. So there'll be the building itself, all the components inside, the equipment, the pumps, monitoring equipment, and then the physical connections to the tank. So that would all be part of the project. This project is partially funded right now through a mineral royalties grant that was approved in June. This SRF loan would be for the remainder of the cost of the project. The loan would be for $478,415. We talked about a 20-year term at 0.75% interest rate. And that would cover half of the project. The grant would cover the other half. I do need to mention alternatives that were evaluated. So in that master plan, they also evaluated an actual physical connection to the regional water system. And that alternative was deemed to be cost prohibitive. It was, well, at the time it was about 1.9 million. It's now, I'm estimating, looking at from 2009 to today, inflation numbers are right at 50%. So plugging that inflation in, it's roughly a $3 million project now. So it's more cost effective to do this connection to Casper system rather than to the regional system. Other alternative that you always have to look at is a do nothing alternative, and we determined that a do nothing alternative, doesn't help the situation. So the revenue to pay back the loan will be the current user rates, the current water fee schedule. The town is not planning to raise rates to pay for this project. The current rates themselves will cover the cost of everything with the loan. And I already mentioned the interest rate of 0.75% for a 20-year term. There is still a possibility as we get things submitted that we could still get a 0% loan, but 0.75 is the maximum that we anticipate. We still can get a 0. So those are kind of the things that I'm required to go over as part of this SRF application and what they require at the public hearing. So now we just need to just take any public comment that may be on submitting this loan application.
Are there any public comments for submitting the loan for the emergency Evansville connection project? We'll open up for public comments now.
I just got a few questions. And I think one of them that you had answered is where the funds are gonna come from is to pay back the loan will come from revenues from water usage, correct? Yes. And I thought I read something in there that there was a possibility that rates are gonna have to go up anyway, right?
I think that's something the council considers all the time is routine rate increases. I guess the point is that the rate increases are not to cover this loan. If there are rate increases that the council addresses in the future, okay, specific other reasons, increased costs and whatever.
I mean, I'm not a mind reader of the citizen's rate out there, but I think they won't look at it that way. And I'm just really big on not borrowing money. I just don't like it. And this has been going on since 2009. And all of a sudden now it's an emergency. It's been 15 years. So that kind of presents a problem. The other thing is why do we use a different system to chlorinate the water or whatever it is that you treat water? I guess would be a better word. Why the difference between us and Casper?
I don't know that I can answer that specifically. The town uses chlorine and always has used chlorine. Chloramines, the city of Casper used to use chlorine and then they switched to chloramines. However, I don't really know the science behind it.
So one of the more specific reasons why the city of Casper used chloramine is the addition of the Midwest regional water system supplying water to Midwest. If they were to continue to treat city of Casper water with chlorine, they would have had to have put in 2 or 3 probably chlorination stations in between here and Midwest to be able to maintain the chlorine residual that they would need once it got to Midwest. Chloramines last a lot longer in the system.
And that's what we use.
We use chlorine.
We use chlorine, they use chloramine. Okay. But if we switch to chloramine, would that be necessary to do that? I mean, we're not 40 miles away.
No. It's always an option, but I'm sure it would be a very pricey option because we'd have to pretty much drain the entire system and fill it with chloramine.
Sinclair tried to do that for us.
Almost.
I'm sure it would involve a costly modification.
Okay, well, I didn't know what the difference in cost would be as compared to putting in a chlorine station and maintaining it. That was, I guess, my question. The, see what I was trying to think, so that I work. And then, the other thing that was in there was a mention in there, and sometimes some of the wording gets my mind going a little bit, but it talked about that our water system here is aging. So maybe, you know, 2.9 million to hook up to their system might be pretty cheap compared to what we may have to use for a water treatment plant down the road. I don't know. Somebody a lot smarter than I am. I know nothing about it, but when we talk about an aging system, I don't know how old our system is, and I don't know what the life expectancy is on it. But to me, that this is part of what we're trying to prevent is a stopgap in case that does happen. But so it probably wouldn't take long. If we're spending $1 million on this, you got 1.9 million more, and you could be hooked up to Casper's system, and then we wouldn't have a problem at all. But I don't know if that's feasible or not. So anyway, that was my, and I had a question before on if we just used a pump, but I also understood reading through there, there's more to it than just the pumps. You know, so I do understand that, so. But judging from people's burned up yards in town, I can't imagine if we start raising water rates, that we're not gonna have very many yards left. Because it seems like, I think on my street, just since I've moved in there, they've at least tripled. So from people that just can't afford to water their yards anymore, so. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.
Any other public comments regarding this emergency connection? We'll now close the public hearing for the Evansville Emergency Water Connection Project. Can I get a motion to,
I'll read it.
oh, sorry.
Sorry. You ready for item number 6?
Oh, yes, ma'am, sorry.
Okay. Resolution 11/2025, this is a resolution authorizing submission of an application to the State Home Investment Board for a loan through the state revolving fund on behalf of the governing body for the town of Evansville. And the purpose is for the completion of construction of the emergency connection to the city of Casper's water system to provide a water source to the town of Evansville in the event that the town's water treatment plant is out of service. And the loan application request would be $478,415, and it's brought before you tonight for approval.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 11-2025?
I so move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm glad that we're doing this, having a backup day, going down and talking to Jim down there and just seeing how old these pumps are, and yes, having a backup plan is good to do. Because we have 1 day of water, and then no one has water anymore. So I think it's good to have.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Line item 7, public comments.
Ian, I'm Walt Barnes. I live at 1079 Cielo Vista. I was just wondering what the status was of your guys' ordinance on stormwater. coming down Gold Street is what's happening with it. Been almost 4 months since I brought it to your guys' attention. Now it's undermining the curb, it's undermining out into the street. It's gonna cause a big problem this winter when all that water that's underneath that asphalt freezes and either pushes the asphalt up or drops it down. It's gonna do it. So, do we have a status on any of this, or did you put it over here and forget?
That would be a Scott question.
Yeah, we're working on getting a draft ordinance in front of the council. I mean, in the meantime, and I think we mentioned this before, but generally those kinds of issues are civil issues among neighbors.
Yeah, this is going onto your guys' property, not mine.
Yeah.
This is coming out by his gate and out the drain that he put out to the street that's undermining the curb and the gutter on both areas.
And so we're getting a draft ordinance that's gonna be in front of council in October.
And all the mud and stuff that comes down and sits on Gold outside of my yard, all that water is going down into the cracks in the asphalt and in between the curb and the asphalt, gonna cause the same problem. And the sidewalk falls in and stuff, I'm not paying to have it replaced or fixed. That's his problem, he created this problem. And I've got my civil stuff going with him. So, just wanted to find out where it was at.
Any other public comments? Public comments closed. Now we'll go to item 8, resolution 12-2025, adoption of a residential anti-displacement and relocation plan.
Mayor Pro Tem Edwards and council brought before you tonight is resolution 12-2025. This is a resolution adopting a residential anti-displacement and relocation plan as required for the application for community development block grant funding administered by the Miami Community Development Authority. It's brought before you tonight for approval.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2025? The adoption of the residential anti-displacement and relocation plan. So move. Can I get a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Line item 9, resolution 13-2025, adoption of citizen participation plan.
Brought before you tonight is resolution 13-2025. This is a resolution adopting citizen participation plan to meet the citizen participation requirement of 24 CFR 570.486 and 24 CFR 91.115 sub E as required for application for community development block grant funding administered by the Wyoming Community Development Authority, brought before you tonight for approval.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution 13-2025, adoption of the citizen participation plan?
I move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Line item 10, engineers report.
The only other thing I have tonight is a contractor pay application for the sidewalk project. This is contractor pay application number 2 from Trito Constructions for work completed through September 4th, 2025. It was actually, yeah, the end of July through September 4th of 2025. We've reviewed the pay estimate and records generally agree with the amount of completed work as invoiced. The total amount is $120,125. It's our recommendation that payment be made to Trito Construction in the amount of $108,112.50, and that $12,012.50 be withheld as retained for pay estimate number 2. So just recommend a motion to have the town pay Trito Construction for pay estimate number 2 in the amount of $108,112.50.
Can I get a motion to pay Trudeau Construction for pay estimate number 2?
I move.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
That's all I have.
Can I please get a motion to approve the engineer's report?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I please get a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:27
I move.
PM?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.